Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this very exciting day. We're thrilled to have you here. I'm Paula Hersmark. I am the chair of the board of the High Line Canal Conservancy, and welcome you on behalf of the Conservancy and our co-hosts, Denver Water and Arapahoe County. So, welcome. We're thrilled you're here. This property is known as the Little Dry Creek property and are joined today with elected officials, dedicated staff members, volunteers, dedicated board members, and neighbors on the canal, and volunteers. I think I said that. And we're all here to celebrate today and commemorate a really historic milestone for the canal. So we're thrilled that each and every one of you can be here to share in this celebration today. It's the collaborative efforts of all of these partners, neighbors, boards, elected officials, staff people, all of you have made all the difference in getting us to where we are today, where we celebrate the permanent protection of the High Line Canal, and with it, a century of stewarding the canal property by Denver Water and their historic transfer of ownership of nearly 2/3 of the canal to Arapahoe County. An extraordinary thing, yes. As present-day stewards of the land, we first want to acknowledge that the land on which the canal sits is the traditional territory of the Ute, Cheyenne, and Arapahoe peoples. We honor elders past, present, and future who have stewarded this land throughout the generations and respect the indigenous methods for caring for the land. The Conservancy is committed to honoring those that came before us and recognizing the historical and continuing connection between indigenous peoples and their native land. When Jim Lockhead retired from Denver Water, many of us shook our heads and said, this is going to be an act that is going to be impossible to follow, and didn't envy the Denver Water Board having to make a selection, but they did, and I think that we can all agree that the very talented and experienced and charming and altogether wonderful Alan Salazar, who is now the CEO of Denver Water, is going to do a great job filling those shoes. And so it's my honor and pleasure to introduce the charming and delightful and wonderful Alan Salazar.
I don't even know how to start that. I think Jim Lockhead is way more charming than me. And I do feel a little bit like the guy who is at the running the tape at the marathon, but I just snuck in for the last quarter mile. So apologize for that. I stand on the shoulders of some incredible people at Denver Water. Our comms team, Splash Street Boys, AKA Splash Street Boys. Tom Rood, who's worked on this project for a very long time. And of course, Jim Lockhead, whose shoes are pretty much impossible to fill, but I'm working on it. I want to say good morning on behalf of everyone at Denver Water. We're excited to be part of this announcement. The High Line Canal has been a part of Denver Water for more than 100 years. And for decades, it was an important water delivery system. While the canal may not be needed, is not needed to serve that function anymore, it remains a tremendous resource and as a recreational asset for the entire region. And so today's announcement represents a major step forward, a real milestone in the ongoing transformation of the canal. I like to say that Denver Water is an anchor institution. We deliver water, clean, safe drinking water. We've been doing that successfully for over 100 years. But we're also interested in the prosperity of the region. We recognize that there are people at the end of the tap. And so the prosperity of the region is not just about water delivery, as critical as that is, but it's also about the quality of life and the recreational opportunities, the economic opportunities that make this a special place. So today does represent an important milestone. None of this would have happened without 14 years of public-private partnership and collaboration. We're thrilled to be here on such an important day. I've been asked, what else does Denver Water want to give away? I think that's... Jim, I promise, no giveaway until I call you and see if it's okay. No, we're not giving it away. What we're doing is participating in a new chapter. And I couldn't be more excited to be here representing Denver Water and also acknowledging the hard work that's gone into this. It's a multi-jurisdictional challenge, so it's a big public administration challenge, big political challenge, big natural resource challenge. So to get that done is not just with the stroke of a pen. It really does require collaborative effort and intentionality. So we thank all of our partners for this. And one of our more important partners, of course, Arapahoe County, since we're turning this over to Arapahoe County. So it's my pleasure to introduce the charming and wonderful and amazing Arapahoe County Commissioner Carrie Warren Gully.
Thank you, Alan. That's sweet of you. Well, thank you very much. Oh my gosh. Is this not amazing and beautiful? I mean, look at this day we got. I just have been sitting here watching all the people using the trail. And isn't that why we're here? We're here today because we want people to access this amazing treasure and this natural resource that we have now. As Alan said, my name's Carrie Warren Gully. I'm one of the commissioners in Arapahoe County, and I would be remiss if I did not introduce my fellow colleagues here. So we have Jeff Baker, Commissioner Jeff Baker, Commissioner Bill Holen, Commissioner Leslie Summey. I would also be remiss if I did not recognize the fact that we have some amazing city council members here, city staff, other electeds. We have commissioners from other areas. And so I would like to ask if you are from a governmental agency and partnership that we've been working on this project together, will you please stand, which is probably almost everyone here, but please stand so we can give you a round of applause. We also recognize that this whole effort really, and Alan and Paula have both spoken to this wonderfully, and that is because we stand on the shoulders of those who came before us, people who had a vision, people who weren't afraid of a 71-mile-long entangled web of messes and everything else that comes along with that. And I want to thank you for that. But I especially want to thank someone who really, really, truly had a vision and grew up along the side of the canal and took that vision and made it something very, very special. I want to thank and recognize Shannon Carter, who was our previous Open Spaces Director. So thank you, Shannon, for the vision and the dedication. We are really honored and thrilled to be here and be a part of this important work to continue that the High Line Canal remains a treasured asset for generations to come. And this model, and we've spoken to it many times before, but the model for how we can all work together is really wrapped up in what we're doing here. I can't tell you how many jurisdictions, how many cities, how many special districts, stormwater districts, all sorts of different folks are coming together to make this work. They've been making it work for a long time as a recreational asset, but to really put this forward in perpetuity as a treasured asset is wonderful. Our residents love the canal. And I think we can all agree that the protection of this urban trail really does support our health and our quality of life. So in the lifetime of our open spaces program, Arapahoe County has invested over $11 million on this asset thus far, putting in underpasses, putting in improvements along the trails, working with our city and municipal partners to do improvements and such along the trail as well. And I can assure you that our work is not done. So what you have is a commitment from Arapahoe County to continue this great partnership, this great collaboration, and to really take the canal to the next level. It's been about protecting and preserving this resource, and now we are ready to really start moving forward into the next phase, which is maintaining it, making sure that our conservation easement is strong and protective, and making sure that we shore up continually those partnerships that will make this work. We want to recognize the incredibly diligent work of my predecessors. I'm trying to look in the audience and see if former commissioners Nancy Sharp is here or Nancy Jackson. No, they've been very involved in this process. And I look forward to what we will build in this transition together. Together, we are really making a lasting impact on our community. And one of the ways that we are doing that is through a very strong protective conservation easement that is going to be held by one of our most primary partners, and that is the High Line Canal Conservancy. So I would like to bring up Harriet Lamar.
Thank you. Yes. Oh. There you go. What an honor to be here to speak on behalf of our board and staff and the so many donors and friends and users of the canal. Our organization was created to harness the community commitment of the canal. And I think that this work and today is a testament to all of those people. I want to read, did you all receive your little book? So Wendell Berry once said, "The care of the earth is our most ancient and most worthy, and after all, our most pleasing responsibility." So thank you all. There's been a lot of thank yous going on, but thank you, Commissioner Warren Gully. And securing the protection of the historic High Line Canal has always been the core of our board's mission. And so today is really a tremendous moment for all of our partners, for all the people that have lifted up our work. This conservation is an incredible gift. You don't see a water utility partnering this way. This is Denver Water is a model across the nation of how to be community members and community partners. So we really thank you from the bottom of our hearts and from every step we've taken on that canal. Before I go any further, I want to thank a few other people. Jim Lockhead, the visionary former CEO of Denver Water, who helped us get to this point. Jim is now a member of our board. And all of the water commissioners, past and present. We happen to have, I think, 3 of them on our board right now, of the past members, for their leadership and their depth of vision for how to partner and how this could get done and how to be persistent. It's taken a lot of time. The untiring Tom Rood, sort of a drill sergeant for all of us, for an incredible amount of work and dedication. Amy Turney and Alec Josephs, thank you. And Shannon Carter. Shannon, honestly, I know you're already thanked, but thank you again. And the incredible staff that you have at Arapahoe County. Michelle Halstead and Jenny Pigeonneau, the new leader, came in for the last inning too and has done a tremendous job. And our board of directors, past and present, who are here, who as volunteers have done this over 10 years, watching this organization grow, committing their own time, personal resources, and helping us lift this project up from the moment we had one little room down on Pearl Street to today. It's been an incredible effort by our board of directors. Why don't you raise your hands? Come on. Yeah. And I want you all to know that with this board of directors, past and present, that we are very close to raising $33 million and completing the Great Links for the High Line campaign. It was this campaign that Denver Water, Jim and Tom challenged us, and we challenged them. They said they'd put $10 million toward the future of the High Line Canal if we would raise 30. We had to raise 33 to get the projects done, but we're really close. And our tireless staff, particularly want to call out Josh Phillips and Tracy Young for working on this so hard. We were very lucky as an organization to have Kaplan, Kirsch, and Rockwell, a law firm, come forward, and our friend Sarah Rockwell dedicate pro bono time to this project. And with that, when the conservation easement came forward, was Bill Silverstein. Where are you, Bill? He should be here someplace. There he is. Thank you. And Marty Zeller, just incredible people that we've had helping us get this through the finish line. We also want to thank Great Outdoors Colorado for funding much of the work to establish the easement. And also for their challenge grant to us that has us continuing to raise money for an endowment for the conservation easement enforcement. Thank you. We just appreciate everyone so much, and all the donors that have stepped forward for helping us go the distance to make history happen today. Couple just quick things about the easement. It will maintain public access and recreational use of the property forever. It will ensure that the property will be perpetually maintained as a linear open space park with a multi-purpose public recreational trail and canal. It permits stormwater uses of the property that are consistent with the preservation and protection of the conservation of values. It's unusual in that way. This is an easement that goes through a very large metropolitan area, and it needs to be crossed. It needs to have multi-functions in order to continue really what it's been. And so it's not a pristine piece of land in the wilderness. This is our urban refuge, though. This canal will now forever be a place where people can go to find a slice of nature in the city. It will not be taken away from us as a community. The Conservancy, as owners of the easement, commit to continued collaboration and deep collaboration with our partners. We're not going to be sitting in a little room saying you can't do this and you can't do that. We're going to be on the front line working with our partners and making as much good that can happen along the High Line Canal happen. This easement is a testament to the power of people who come together from very diverse communities to build a common vision. That common vision incorporated the voices of over 5,000 people back in 2017. Having a powerful vision that inspires people to move together in unison toward a common goal and working across political and geographic divides with persistence and collaboration. We've accomplished something quite meaningful today, and there's more work to do. In fact, creation of the vision plan I think there were 350 people lined up outside of Goodson to come in to talk about this project. So that just shows you how many people are standing behind the work that you're here to celebrate today. About finished here. This conservation easement, and our board accepts this responsibility with seriousness and pride. This easement on the High Line Canal is for all those people that need the comfort of being in a natural open space in this growing urban area. We hope they will find it along the 71 miles of the High Line Canal, and may the healing power of nature sustain them forever. Now it's time to hear from another passionate user of the High Line Canal who grew up on the High Line Canal as well, from the City and County of Denver. And I want to welcome Diana Romero Campbell from the City and County of Denver up.
That was lovely. Thank you, Harriet. I just have to take a moment and just pause. I'm here, and it's hard to start and to say anything about the High Line Canal without talking about my dad. And everybody has a canal story. Everybody has multiple canal stories, I'm sure, in your favorite tree, your favorite rock, your favorite bend. And so I just want to start there. But I'm here today on behalf of Director Joel Clark from Denver Parks and Rec and Mayor Johnston for the City and County of Denver. But my personal connection is about my dad. And he ran on the High Line Canal, on this canal path, for almost 50 years. We lived across from the High Line, and he loved this trail. And the way that I can sum it up best is it was his church. So I grew up along the High Line Canal. When my husband and I bought our house, we are just about a block away from the canal. We ran, we ride our bike, we floated down the canal when it was full of water when I was younger. We explored the canal bed when it was dry. And we love the canal. And I know that not only myself, my family, but all of you also have your stories and memories of how much the canal means to them. And so to be able to preserve it for generations to come is so incredibly important, and the canal is such a lifeline. There are 17 miles within Denver for the High Line Canal that go through. I'm going to say High Line Canal about how many times in this. So it's not a drinking game, but if it was, let me tell you, you would not make it to noon. But there are many miles in the southern part of the High Line Canal that go through District 4, also through District 5 and District 6. And I have the privilege of having that through our district. But the benches, the fox statue around Bible Park, and that was from a cottonwood that had been torn down. I think that there are creative ways that we can look at the canal in the future. And I also want to recognize my predecessor, Councilwoman Kendra Black, who really carried the water for the High Line Canal up to here, and I get to be in this last part in the journey, kind of the ninth inning here for the High Line. But it does provide spaces for outdoor activities, and no matter their socioeconomic status. And that's so incredibly important. That connection, it transcends, regardless of where you live, you can access the canal. It belongs to all of us. I grew up thinking it was actually ours. I did. I thought it was. You have to have good stewardship and start early. But I think that it also connects us to the wilderness in the city. And even though the High Line Canal treks over about 1 million users a year, it's still a place of solace. It's a place of peace. It's a place of beauty and cherished by all of us. I keep saying that because it's so incredibly true. And we do have some of the premier spaces in the city that people can access, and it feels like home. So I'm extremely excited and honored and grateful for this partnership with Arapahoe County. I'm excited for this partnership with the High Line Conservancy and for their support to permanently protecting this tremendous asset as we continue to cherish the High Line Canal for generations to come. This investment will improve accessibility of our trail surface, enhance the safety of the roadway crossings, and invest in the canal's tree canopy for future generations. I keep looking at you, but I should be looking at all of you to let you know. But I think that what I want to leave with is the sense of partnership and the sense of collaboration and just the tenacity, I think, that everyone has had to be able to get to this point. So thank you to all of you. Thank you to Arapahoe County. Thank you, High Line Conservancy. Thank you, Denver Water. And that's, do I hand it off to someone else? Thank you. And thank you to Paula, the lovely, wonderful, beautiful, charming Paula Hersmark.
This place is just oozing with charm today. We really appreciate you all being here for this third annual State of the Canal. We'd like to say congratulations to all our governmental partners. Collectively, we are making the community vision for the High Line Canal a reality. And I think that at a time in our country when there is so much division, we see this coming together of multiple jurisdictions, multiple political views and parties and so on, to preserve and protect this unique asset to our community. Together, we're able to do so much more than any one of us could have done on our own. And so it is the collaboration, it is this joint partnership that is so unique and so special and so important right now, and to the long-term success of the High Line Canal. This work is going to have a lasting impact on the quality of life of our community. Environmental and human health are impacted today and for future generations. And so thank you again for your time, your energy, your resources, your commitment to this great project. We appreciate your being here today and hand in hand with us over the last really 10 years to make this all come together and be a reality.